Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah ahsanal jaza. So just before moving on to the next session, can I request Hafiz Azam Sahib to please do an announcement with regards to our Majlis Ansarullah's cycling trip to Holland, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, Majlis Ansarullah will be holding a cycling camp in Holland and Nunspeet. And for that reason, we have arranged a meeting as well with Naib Nazmin Ala Safed Dome. It will be in the guest marquee after the panel discussion, inshallah. It is, inshallah, the plan is to leave at the end of the month on 30th of September for 2 days. And it is to promote the cycling culture in, I would say, in Safed Dome and Ansarullah, and as well as, Safed as well. But because Hazur Ekda Sayyid Allah Ta'ala ibn Aziz has advised us many times that Safed Dome and Ansar should be joining, they should start cycling, and it is the part of Constitution as well. So we have taken these, we are making these plans, and we have already done one trip to France, and inshallah, this is our second trip that we are arranging for the new cyclists. They will be, gathering in Holland and Nunspeet, and inshallah, I would request for the arrangements or for the management purpose that the Naib Nazmin Ala Safed Dome, if they can meet us in the guest marquee, inshallah, after the panel discussion.
Assalamu alaikum. So the next in the program is the Humanitarian Projects of Majlis Ansarullah, and it's a panel discussion. And for this, I would like to hand it over to our respected Naib Sadr Rafi Bhatti Saab, who's Nazmi Ala Ijtema as well. So please come and conduct the session. Jazakumullah ahsanal jaza.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. May I request Chairman Sahib of Charity Walk for Peace, Zahid Ahmed Sahib, to please join me on the stage. Iftikhar Chaudhry Sahib, please join on the stage as well, former Mayor of Runnymede. Azhar Manan Chaudhry Sahib, who is our respected Qaid Sahib Mal, and the host for the panel discussion, respected Khalil Yusuf Sahib. This is a 30-minute session to just make you aware of the work that you are, mashallah, doing in all the different regions of the UK. So we'll start off with the video. First video, please, Asif Sahib.
This is my job, this is my faith, and this is my way of life. It's the commitment and the warmth of everybody organising it and taking part to make a real difference. is, of course, guided by the teaching and guidance of your spiritual leader. Serve and be loyal to one's nation, for which you live, and the message that you share and practice, love for all, hatred for none.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The ninth condition of Ba'ath is that he shall have sympathy for all of God's creatures and devote his talents to their welfare. Under the blessings of beloved Hazur Aqdas, may Allah be his helper, Charity Walk for Peace is by the grace of Allah the Almighty going from strength to strength. And it is only going this way because of the guidance and prayers of Khilafat. We used to explain to the wider community, to our friends, who is Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salam? Who is Khalifatul Masih? What are the true teachings of Islam? Now, because of your efforts, my brothers, our guests give speeches in their own public domains and talk to their friends, and they talk to their family members, and they share the words we used to share. Love for all, hatred for none. They talk about the good works of the community. They even talk about their love for Khalifatul Masih. They explain through their words the actions and deeds and the words of our community. This, my dear brothers, my respected Ansar brothers, is due to your efforts in the wider community. Your poppy appeal collections, your tabligh stalls, all your efforts. Now the community is realizing for themselves that this community is blessed by Khilafat. Let us now hear a few more words of Majlis Ansarullah UK of their humanitarian work as guided by Hazrat Amirul Momineen, may Allah be his helper. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In this part of our session, we're going to have a discussion with respected Zahir Ahmed Saab, who is the chairman of Charity Walk for Peace. We also have respected Iftikhar Chaudhry Saab, who will be speaking to us a little bit about this wonderful British Citizenship Award that he has received. And we have Rafi Ahmed Saab as well, who will be contributing to this session. May I start with asking you, Zahir Saab, a little bit about the work that we're doing in Charity Walk for Peace. When you're organizing such an enormous event like Charity Walk for Peace, what are your main considerations? What is it that you're thinking about?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakallah Khalil Sahib. Our very first and important aspect in our mind is to fulfill the instructions of Huzur Aqdas Sayyidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz and to help and serve the community and the humanity and the charity, other charities who we are working with since long time.
Sure. Jazakallah. When you're serving humanity, what is it that you see as being one of those characteristics in which people see that Charity Walk for Peace is really serving humanity? Is it the responses that they give you? Is it some of the attendees that come? What is it that is one of the marks of the service of humanity which Charity Walk for Peace gives?
As most of you are aware of, and we have even published in our leaflets, and this is one of the instruction by Huzur Aqdas Sayyidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz. At one stage when Sadr Sahib met Huzur, Huzur advised Sadr Sahib and Charity Walk for Peace that start working with the small charities. We used to work with the big charities at the start, but after this we started talking to the small charities throughout UK, and by the grace of Allah, with the prayers of Huzur Aqdas Sayyidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz, we have such a good response from these small charities, because all these charities are doing such a nice job in their own communities and in their own areas that once we started working with them and we offered help through our volunteers, through funds, their response was remarkable. And they appreciated very highly. And this was a wonderful way of tabligh as well. And one of the best way, I say, to convey the message of peace, message of Islam.
So what are your aspirations now for the next big walk that you're organizing?
Our aspirations are, according to the instructions of Huzur Aqdas, that we should work with the small charities. Every year we bring more and more small charities on our platform, and we help them wherever we hold our charity walk. If the charity walk is local in Baitul Futuh, then our target is the charities in London. If we are holding charity walk in North or in Midland, then our target is the charities around that area. By doing this, by the grace of Allah, so far we have supported and we are working with more than 500 charities. And their response is amazing. And the way they explain our volunteers, the dedication of the volunteers. Just take the example of Poppy Appeal. I mean, this is a fundraising campaign which is not for 1 day or 2 days. This is 15 days campaign starting from early morning till late evening. And more than 900 volunteers of Majlis Ansarullah took part in this campaign.
So how do you, with 900 volunteers and so much increased activity, how do you motivate so many volunteers to work so hard?
Our motivation is our beloved Huzur, his instructions, and his guidance. And of course, Sadr Sahib guides us throughout. And when we speak to our volunteer, our brother and Ansar brothers, we are all doing for the love of Allah, love of Islam, love of Jamaat. And that is the main thing. And whenever I never see a situation where we asked our brothers to go and fundraise. I mean, there is never, no. It's always, and they take pride in doing this. And I have seen people spending money from their pockets, for their lunch, for their refreshments. And going early in the morning, 5 o'clock, in a very first tube is not easy. Coming back 10:30, 11 o'clock with a bucket full of money and bringing back to the center, every day, 15 days. And this is all because Huzur Aqdas Sayyidullah Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz, his prayers are with us and he guides us through. And last year, as you know, we raised more than 700,000 pounds for them. And inshallah, this year again, we are ready. We are preparing for this fundraising campaign. We have already discussed with them. It's not only the Poppy Appeal we are doing. We offered almost all charities, whether they belong to mayor's charities or whether they are independent charities, if they need our help in any way, in any shape, we can provide our volunteers, we can go down, we can help them. And we have done it by the grace of Allah.
Jazakallah. I mean, you speak about coming back with big buckets of money. Imran Sahib, it's your responsibility to make sure all of that is banked and that all of that money then goes to the cause for which it was raised. So tell us a little bit more about the Poppy Appeal, because so much money has been raised through that, and it's been given CWFP so much publicity. Tell me about how that works. You can answer in Urdu actually for some of our guests, if you don't mind.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah, every year we raise the money for Poppy Appeal. Mal team is a 25 member, always count the money in the Baitul Fatu office. Every evening when we receive the bucket, we issue the new bucket, and next day we deposit the whole money जो है वो हम जमा करवाते हैं और every penny count होती है. Even we use the machine from the bank. So बहुत सारे volunteer हैं जो सारा साल इस चीज़ का इंतज़ार करते हैं और हर साल more than £500,000 हम पॉपी में रेज करते हैं. पिछले साल 607,000 था, 70,000 था. Similarly, internal collection हमारा टारगेट $500,000 है, 5,000 हमारी तजनीद है. तो हम जब चैरिटी का आगाज़ 2-3 महीने पहले शुरू करते हैं तो सारी मजालस को टारगेट भेजते हैं, नाज़मीन आला को टारगेट भेजते हैं, फिर उनको फॉलो अप करते हैं. तो फिर एक और चीज़ हमने इंट्रोड्यूस करवाई हुई है कुछ सालों से, हर घर में हमने चैरिटी बॉक्स रखवाया हुआ है जो साल में हम 2 दफ़ा उसमें से रकम इकट्ठी करके रसीदें काट के देते हैं. तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ये अल्लाह का फ़ज़ल है, सारे अंसार भाइयों का तावन है कि हर साल हम अपने टारगेट को बीट कर रहे हैं.
Mashallah, mashallah. So we have, with these charity walk for peace is extreme heat sometimes and lots of rain, but in all of those circumstances, the charity walks always happen. So Rafi Saab, was there a charity walk this year?
Jazakallah Khalil Saab, yes. There was a charity walk this year, and I think the best way to demonstrate the beautiful activity on that particular day, can I request MTA to play the next video?
Iftikhar Sahab, I'm going to come to you in just a moment, but before I do that, Manan Sahab, we've seen from this video that there's such a huge number of people that attend these events. We're providing them with lunch and fruit and all sorts of these things. How do you meet your financial targets with so much cost?
اصولی طور پہ جو چیریٹی ورک فار پیس کے نام پہ
Sorry, we can't hear you.
السلام علیکم. السلام علیکم. چیریٹی ورک اب آواز آ رہی ہے؟
Sorry, because of audio, I'm going to request Manan Sahab to please come to the podium. Jazakallah.
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. جیسا کہ سارے انصار بھائی جانتے ہیں کہ چیریٹی ورک فار پیس کے نام پہ ہم جو رقم بھی اکٹھی کرتے ہیں وہ ساری کی ساری ہم یو کے بیس چیریٹی کو تقسیم کر دیتے ہیں. انصار اللہ کے بجٹ میں چیریٹی کی جتنی بھی کاسٹ ہے، کھانے کی، ہاسپٹیلٹی یا جو بھی انتظامات ہوتے ہیں، اس کے اخراجات ہم انصار اللہ کے چندہ سے ادا کرتے ہیں. تو یہ ایک بہت بڑی بات ہے. جب دوسری چیریٹی کو یہ پتہ چلتا، ہم بتاتے ہیں تو وہ بہت حیران ہوتے ہیں کہ ہم ایوری سنگل پینی جو ہم ریسیو کرتے ہیں انصار سے یا باہر سے ریز کرتے ہیں، ساری کی ساری ہم گڈ کازز کے لیے ڈفرینٹ چیریٹی کو دے دیتے ہیں. تو یہ ہماری ایک سگنیفیکنٹ فیچر ہے جو چیریٹی ورک کی ہے. اور
Manan Sahab, I'm going to ask you just one more question, if you don't mind, and that is, could you tell us a little bit more about some of the projects that are planned for this year?
جزاک اللہ. I'm here again. جیسا کہ سارے انصار کو علم ہے کہ پچھلے 3-4-5 سال میں ہم نے مسرور آئی انسٹیٹیوٹ برکینا فاسو میں بنایا ہے، جس پہ 1.7 اور 1.8 ملین کاسٹ آئی ہے، جو ساری کی ساری آپ انصار بھائیوں کے تعاون سے اکٹھی کی گئی اور ساری کی ساری رقم وہاں ادا کی گئی. اس سال کے شروع میں حضرت خلیفۃ المسیح اید اللہ تعالیٰ بنصر العزیز کی خدمت میں ہم صدر صاحب نے درخواست کی اور ہمیں ایک آرفن ہاؤس، جس کو اردو میں یتیم خانہ کہتے ہیں، اس کے بنانے کی اجازت ملی ہے. اور ایک بہت اچھی اپرچونٹی ہے کہ ہم ایسے بچے جن کی پرورش کا کوئی انتظام نہیں ہے، ہم ان کے لیے گھر بنا رہے ہیں اور پھر ہم نے اس کو رن کرنا ہے. تو اس کا 300,000 اس کی کاسٹ ہے. اس کا لیفلیٹ سارے انصاروں کو بھیجا جا چکا ہے اور سارے ناظمین کو، زماء کو اطلاع دی جا چکی ہے اس بارے میں. اور یہ بہت آئی تھنک کہ اگر زندگی میں ایک بہت اچھی اپرچونٹی ہے ہم سب بھائیوں کے لیے کہ ہم اس میں بڑھ چڑھ کے حصہ لیں، اور جس حد تک توفیق ہو آپ کی ایک ایک پینی، ایک ایک پاؤنڈ اس کام میں خرچ ہوگا ویری انٹیلیجنٹ وے سے. تو یہ ہمارا نیا پروجیکٹ ہے. اس کے علاوہ ہم واٹر ویل اسکیم جو ہے وہ ہم ہیومینٹی فرسٹ کے تھرو وہ بھی ہماری جاری ہے. مسرور آئی انسٹیٹیوٹ جو ہے وہ ویسے اس کا بلڈنگ تو مکمل ہو گئی ہے، لیکن آپ مسرور آئی آپریشن کے نام پہ 50 پاؤنڈ اس کے ہم نے رکھے ہوئے ہیں. گو تھوڑی کاسٹ زیادہ ہے لیکن ہم نے 50 پاؤنڈ رکھے ہوئے ہیں. اس پہ بھی آپ اپنی ڈونیشن دے سکتے ہیں. جتنے بھی آئی آپریشن کے پیسے ہمارے پاس اکٹھے ہوں گے انشاءاللہ وہ سارے کے سارے مسرور آئی انسٹیٹیوٹ کو دیے جائیں گے اور وہاں آپ کے نام پہ وہاں کے آپریشن کرائے جائیں گے. تو یہ 3 پروجیکٹ ہیں اس سال کے لیے. ایک آرفن ہاؤس جس کو اردو میں یتیم خانہ کہتے ہیں، دوسرا مسرور आई ऑपरेशन जिसकी कॉस्ट 50 पाउंड है, वाटर वेल जो हम ह्यूमैनिटी फर्स्ट के थ्रू लगाते हैं, और उसकी नए वाटर वेल की कॉस्ट 2000 पाउंड है, और अगर कोई दोस्त रिपेयर करवाना चाहें तो उसकी प्राइस 750 है। तो मैं एज अ कायद माल जो फंड रेजिंग इंचार्ज सब अंसार भाइयों से यही दरख्वास्त करूँगा कि ये एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है जो जमात जो अंसारुल्लाह के थ्रू हमें मिली हुई है, इसमें हम सब को जिस हद तक मुमकिन हो इसमें हिस्सा लेना चाहिए, जो भी अल्लाह मियाँ तौफीक दे। अल्लाह ताला आपकी मसाइल में बरकत डाले।
Jazakallah, Manan Sahab. Thank you so much. Iftikhar Sahab, you've been very patient. Iftikhar Sahab received an award this year, the British Citizenship Award, and I wanted to ask him a little bit about that. When Rafi Sahab and Iftikhar Sahab went to the House of Lords earlier on this year, Iftikhar Sahab, to receive this wonderful award that you've been given, help us to understand, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Bismillah Rahman Rahim, Jazakallah Khalil Sahab. The first thing that came to my mind was very simple, the blessings of the Jamaat. This wasn't the achievement of one man. This was prayers of our beloved Hazur. This was the brothers that I stand in front of today. We got this award together. So the award was mainly given for exceptional work done with the Walk for Peace in 2018, where we raised £1 million, had 4,500 people descend upon Runnymede, actually descend upon Windsor Great Park, and also the multi-faith civic service we did and the Forest of Memories. But the main thing for me is it was mainly to do with Jamaat, mainly to do with the charity Walk for Peace, obviously Hazur's advice and prayers. So, you know, when I went to the House of Lords with my brother Rafi Sahab, we had a discussion and we thought, look, wow, how did we do this? But we did it with the blessings of the Jamaat. And as I said in the House of Lords, one person singularly is never responsible for anything. A lot of people carry one up to these sort of achievements. So it is with everyone's assistance here, with everyone's prayers, that I was fortunate to get this honor. Jazakallah.
Iftikhar Sahab, don't go too far away because I have another question for you.
One.
And that really is to do with some of the dignitaries that you meet. I mean, we know within the Jamaat that we have a tremendous blessing and benefit from Khilafat, but actually many of the dignitaries that you might meet might not necessarily know that. They attend lots of other charity events. What kind of impact do our events have on these dignitaries that you meet in your political life?
Jazakallah. I think the main thing is people are absolutely shocked and surprised with the safety of the events, with the organization of the events, with the kindness that's offered to them. And I think the main thing is they ask, how were you able to raise so much money for our charities? Hundreds of charities. I think the humanity works that we do are heavily underrated. I mean, as far as an organization that raises money, we come amongst the best in the UK. And I mean, from my own experience with the Runnymede Walk for Peace, I mean, we had hundreds of charities that were involved. And I remember the Lord Lieutenant coming up to me in Runnymede and saying, "This is absolutely amazing. I'd never heard of your organization, but what your organization does is humbling and it's absolutely brilliant." And we hear this from MPs, we hear this from mayors, we hear this from everyone across the board. And it is with your help that we get there. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah, thank you very much, Iftikhar Sab. I'm very grateful to all of our speakers here today. I would just like to conclude this session by inviting Zahir Ahmed Sab to perhaps say some final remarks in order to conclude the session.
Jazakallah Khaliq Sahib. I want to emphasize what Manan Sahib just said. We need to raise money for our projects. We need to raise money for other charities. We need to offer our time for other charities to help them in their endeavors, in their fundraising. By the grace of Allah, so far, not a large number of Ansar take part in this campaign. According to our calculation and my information, around 12 to 1,500 Ansar out of 5,000 Tajneed collect funds for these projects. We need more Ansar to come forward, to take part in this blessed work. If we raise money for orphan house, if we raise more money for water wells, if we raise more money for eye hospital, Masroor Eye Institute, and eye operations, just imagine this money which is collected from 1,500 people, if this money is collected from 5,000 people, how much more money we can raise. Remember that Huzur Aqda Sayyidullah Ta'ala bin Nasir al-Aziz asked Majlis Ansarullah UK to look after this hospital, this Masroor Eye Institute. He also advised us to build one or more orphan houses. So we need more money. We need more volunteers. So please help us, help Charity Work for Peace. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.